everyone, this is Videos Day for you, and I've decided to compile a top 10 video for you. This is it right here. The top 10 worst Kickstarter creators ever in the world of playing cards. Or I should say the top 10 Kickstarter project creators to avoid. Number one on the list. Well, actually, this is in no particular order because I do not want to name one creator, one moron, or idiot worse than the other. They're all just as bad. So there's no numbers. The first one on the list, though, is Russell Kurtzival. Russell Kurtzival is the guy who designed the Bicycle Brimstone and its companion deck, the Quicksilver. There was plans for a second Brimstone deck, but I doubt that's going to happen. And he also did the Bicycle Americana deck. Each deck has had consistent delays. And his most recent one, the Bicycle Quicksilver, he has basically gone MIA. And people are still waiting for this stuff. I know I am. And it's not looking good. And on top of that, he had a big Black Friday clearance sale on his website, circlecitycards.com. Excuse me. And that's it. People are still waiting for the stuff, and it's not looking good. On top of that, he used to go on the forums and try to back up his former partner, Adam, which we'll get to in a minute. He used to try to back him up on the boards and come up with excuses for him and try to put in a good word for him and stuff like that. And he used to say a lot of stuff. And then he turned into Adam. Anyways, next on the list is Adam Clarkson. Adam Clarkson has done the Bicycle Revision and more recently the Bicycle Army Men. Yet is season delays with the revision and a lot of lack of communication and missing in acts and stuff. And with the Bicycle Army Men, it was more the same. Then he had legal issues, which I think he worked out. In the end, though, he decided wasn't going to make any money, so screw it. Canceled the whole thing. Apparently, he used funds for other stuff as well. Didn't have money. And failed to even get the cards printed. Never mind deliver them. And then he disappeared. He gave people refunds. Some people, other people like myself, never going to get them. Still waiting. And like I say, he went MIA for quite some time. Lack of updates and all that stuff. I was going to say something about Russell. Again, that just came to mind, and that is Russell has been quite MIA. Hasn't been responding to anyone. Hasn't been delivering. And I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, we'll move on. Oh, what I was going to say about the Quicksilver is it looks like Russell is out of money. And that's why he hasn't been doing anything. That's just a guess, though. I don't know for sure. But the fact of the matter is he was selling a lot of stuff really cheap. And shipping was cheap, from what I can recall. And shipping has gone up quite a bit. And so he probably is in the hole. Next person on the hit list is Donna Slavic, who had a company, Department of Design. And he created the Founders playing cards. On top of that, he was also associated with Barack Obama and did some design work for him. John Slavic has basically taken $37,000 and disappeared. He is MIA. There's been zero progress or updates on his Founders playing cards. You know, they look great. Everybody is using the word scam when it comes to it, and it's gained some attention because of who he is and what he's done for Obama. And Do you know that I think it's the New York State Attorney is involved? You can contact them if you've been scammed. Fortunately, I missed out on this one. I was disappointed because I really wanted this deck, but then I missed out, and I'm glad I did. Next one on the list is Alex Willis. Alex Willis has created a few different projects, two of which being card projects, at least two. One is the Michael Farmer 1616 bicycle deck, and the other is the Victorian Adventure bicycle deck. Neither one of which is fulfilled. He's been making excuses. He's been MIA. Hasn't even logged on since last year. Most of these haven't. Last update was in November. And just making excuses and coming up with stuff, delays. I knew it was going to be an issue as soon as he created one project of playing cards. The first one, Michael Farmer deck, which was fine. Then it was not even a month and a half later, he created this other deck, the Victorian Adventure deck, a project for that. And it's like, are you serious? You haven't even begun to fulfill one and you're already starting another one? I was glad that I ended up canceling the Michael Farmer deck, and later I told him, screw it, I don't even want the Victorian Adventure deck. It's a hideous thing anyways, in my opinion, sort of. And I told him I want my money back, and he gave me my money back, so at least he did that much. And he's given other people refunds as well, which leaves him in a financial issue, I'm sure, if he's giving everyone, a bunch of people, refunds. It's, like I said, been inactivity, lack of updates in progress, and excuses and stuff like that. It's done him on this list. And I don't know if I ever see these decks of cards. I really don't care. The next one on the hit list is Darren Gendron. His most recent project is with Sealy playing cards, and while it's still on schedule, it has had some delays. He's been making lots of excuses. He rarely updates. He has had zero proof of any progress, despite saying he's been paying artists and stuff like that. He has a couple other projects running at the same time, which aren't card projects, but they're related, I guess. Claims in his most recent update, posted this a couple of days ago, that he had a $50,000 budget hole, $50,000 budget hole, which is not good. And then tries to comfort that person, saying that he will fulfill everything that's the plan. And it's like, seriously, expect us to believe that? Most people are being optimistic. I'm being more realistic, and I'm asking for a refund. Unfortunately, he also posted this update that he will give people refunds, but only 25% of whatever they pledged, which is absolutely ridiculous. You don't go to the store and return a pair of socks or whatever that you don't want and get only a fraction of your money back. You get the whole thing back. It is not my fault or anyone else who backed the project. It's not the fault of it's not my fault or any other backer's faults if he's having financial issues, if postage has gone up, if he's delayed, if he got scammed on something. Ain't my problem. I want my money back, and I want it all back. And we're pretty certain Kickstarter does not allow creators to offer partial refunds, so we'll see what happens. Next one on the list is Alex Isaacs. I think that's his name. It might be Alex Yosirpov. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But Alex Isaacs is one he's on the project. He is a guy who originally founded A for Cards. And it's been since 2011, 2 years now. People are still waiting for their Vortex playing cards. Basically, he got everything printed. Then he got lazy. He got tired of shipping out packages and doing stuff. He might have misspent some money. I really don't know. I know there was a lot of people that were not happy for a long time, but it's kind of simmered down a little bit. What is really ridiculous is that he has the audacity to critique other project creators on his forum as if like nothing happened. and that he's got people that actually support him on the forum. It's like, seriously? You're complaining about other people? He's complaining about other people, but look at what he's done. Open your eyes. Wake up, you know? Completely ridiculous and unacceptable. Fortunately, I did get mine. And on top of that, I actually got my money back as well. So it's kind of like, screw you. Next on the list is Timothy Noyes. I'm not even sure how to really pronounce his last name. Who has a company sort of called Fulcrum 7. And he produced the bicycle core playing cards, which I just got in the mail the other day. I'd like to tell you the ones I got in the mail the other day, or that I got for backing his project on Kickstarter. I can't, because I did not get them from him. I got those on eBay, because I had to go buy them on eBay, because he has failed to ship me anything. He has been not answering, not responding to any of my messages anywhere. He's pretty much disconnected every social media account he had. I wasn't able to reach him by phone. And he's been MIA for a very long time, missing in action for a very long time. Finally, a couple months ago, he came back, made an update, and said that he was working on stuff. He also made excuses saying that he wasn't able to log into Kickstarter, which is absolute freaking BS, because if something happens where you are unable, to get into your account anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's Kickstarter, Facebook, Twitter, email, whatever, there's always a password reset or some way of getting into your account. To say that he was unable to access his Kickstarter account for like a year is ludicrous. And if he actually thinks anyone believes that, they're idiots. I mean, he's idiot, sorry. If he actually thinks that anyone believes that he wasn't able to get into a Kickstarter account for like a year or more, he's an idiot. And if anyone actually believed him, they're idiots too, quite frankly. Needless to say, he did get some projects out, some of the product out during the summertime. I never got anything. I never got responses via email after he asked people to email him if they haven't got anything. Haven't got responses anywhere else. So basically, I don't think I'll get anything. Probably because I've been complaining too much, but he deserves the complaints. And like I said, excuses are ridiculous. Not delivering product is ridiculous. And I know I'm not the only one that's waiting for stuff and who got screwed. Next on the list is the Faro Card Company, which is, I believe, run by somebody called Justin. I don't know his full name. He has produced the Bicycle Hedge deck, which also has Stripper deck. And more recently, the Bicycle Inferno, aka Dante's Inferno. I have heard of people having issues receiving the Bicycle Heads and him basically giving up. Kind of like old Alex over there, that last guy we talked about. And same issue with the Dante Inferno. He's supposedly had these decks, the Dante's Inferno decks, since October. And it's been like 3 months and I still haven't received a damn thing. And I ordered not only the Inferno, but also the Heads deck because I didn't have any. Fortunately, I did find the Heads deck on Being Poker World. But I'd rather not have to pay extra like I already did. So basically, on top of that, I mean, it hasn't really been fulfilling everything, and he has basically given up. I saw a comment he posted on one of the projects saying that he was not going to be doing any more projects on Kickstarter because, and I want to quote or paraphrase, but I don't remember exactly. Basically, he made a complaint saying that he's tired because every day he's got people making complaints and stuff like that. Well, perhaps if you shipped out the stuff, you wouldn't be getting complaints. It's not that hard. And I don't hear Jackson Robinson or Paul Carpenter or other people who actually fulfill the projects getting complaints. It's just you and all these other people on my list. Next on the list is Beta 17, which is a design company run by Patrick Burke and Ethan Soper. And they created the ultraviolet playing cards. It's failed the first time around, then it was successful. And then it kind of fell off the face of the earth. They'd been missing in action for an extremely long time. The last time they updated, I don't even remember. Very few people actually got these cards, from what I can tell. I know Laura 7 Bree did, and I don't know if anyone else specifically that did, except one other person, a man named David Elliott, who actually got 15 decks, I believe. One was signed, there was a couple extras, and a brick. And he is gracious enough, nice enough, kind enough to offer up decks to people that got screwed on the project page. And I think that I've got a couple on the way, one or two on the way, so hopefully I'm waiting for them. And yeah, so thanks a lot, David Elliott, really appreciate it. And as for everyone else, you're basically screwed. I mean, these decks, you know, there's not a whole lot of them out there because you never even see them on eBay whatsoever or anywhere. I haven't seen any for sale anywhere. I've heard of one being on eBay. That's it. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Although it makes it pretty valuable, really rare, but that's about it. And I don't understand how these guys can work when they got all these dicks. They got dicks too, but all these decks, piles of decks, sitting at their office or wherever. On top of that, there were some issues because apparently they tried to sell a bunch of decks to be in Poker World so that he could sell them, and people didn't like that either. There is but one more person on my list, and that is Ed Nass, who runs Altius Management, which I prefer to refer to as Altius Mismanagement. And I know that on the Kickstarter project for the Asylum playing cards, it said never to be reprinted ever again. I think he should change that to simply never to be printed ever. I feel bad about this project for it was designed by a guy in Serbia named Milan. He had to get somebody in the States to run a campaign because he couldn't. There were some issues. He ended up finding Altius Management, and they basically taken the money and ran. There's been lots of delays, excuses. He's been complaining about people making complaints and making excuses saying that it's delaying the project. Claimed that the cards were printing back in July. That's like 6 months ago. People still waiting. Has been missing in action, no updates or communication. I've messaged him many times asking for refunds. Nothing. And he's just been making a whole bunch of, hollow promises saying people are going to get this stuff. They will fulfill everything, but offering no proof of anything at the same time. I highly doubt anything has been printed. I highly doubt anyone's going to get anything. And if I really had to pick a number one on this list, he'd probably be right there. But everyone else is just as bad. So if you're ever on Kickstarter looking at projects, NEC projects by Russell Kurtzel, Adam Clarkson, Donna Slavic, aka Department of Design, Alex Willis, Darren Gendron, whose company I think is Skellywags, Alex Isaacs, Ed Nass or Altius Management, Beta 17 or Patrick Burke or Ethan Soper, Timothy New or Falcon 7, and I would also, watch out for Circle City cards. I would avoid those. I would stay away. Don't back them. Save your money. Find a better project to back. That's what I got. I'll see you next time.